Right, just before we crack on with this episode, just a quick word about our sponsor, KS Civils and Groundworks Limited, based in Leeds. They have over 296 years of combined experience in civil engineering and groundworks. Led by Director Carl Smith, their team is known for honesty, reliability and commitment to the highest safety and quality standards. They're proudly ISO accredited and fully CHAS Elite accredited. No matter the size of your project, KS Civils and Groundworks delivers professional, trustworthy service you can rely on. To learn more, visit kscivilsandgroundworks.co.uk. Now let's dive back into this episode. Hi, welcome back to the podcast. Tonight I've got Andy Haynes, the Allotment veteran, on TikTok. If anyone's noticed him on there, which I had, that's been chasing him for ages. He's got some really good content on there. It's really funny as well. Now, Andy served with 2RF over in Cella before going to ITC Catterick. And then the LDG. Sorry, the LDGs, was it? Yeah, Light Dragoons. That's a bit of a switch, isn't it? Anyway, welcome to the podcast, Andy. I hope you're well.
Hey, thank you.
And again, before, as I said to everyone, thanks for coming on and agreeing to do this. It's the same questions I asked everybody else. So just where did you grow up? Why did you join the military? What was it like? Why did you leave? And what have you done since? So if you just want to start off with like where you grew up and what made you join the military, give us a bit of a background.
Where I grew up everywhere. My dad was in the army. He was 2RF. We bounced around from Northern Ireland to Cella to Bulford to Chester. I can't really remember much of that, but I don't know why. Like, I had a good childhood and stuff like that. It was brilliant. Obviously, my mum was the sole carer because my dad was always away. Things I can remember is going into camp. Like, my dad would take us on to camp and get us sitting in the tanks, and like, I was always in and around the offices when he was back, and I can just remember like all the lads sat around smoking in the offices and that. It was like a mad environment, taking the piss out of me and get us to wash the car and stuff like that. I remember stuff like that. But yeah, so we bounced around. I can remember being in Cella because when I went back there myself, I went to where I used to live and it kind of brought memories back. But I remember being an absolute nightmare. Like, I made my own plug socket when I was, I don't know, 6 or something like that. I made up my own plug socket and put blue tack on a piece of metal and put it in the German plugs. Now it's 2 prongs. And I blew the whole thing. I blew myself across the room and everything. I was in the cellar. My mum was constantly looking for us. There was me, my mum, my dad, and my sister. I was a terror to my sister. But then my dad got posted to Hebburn at the TA centre there. He was doing his last 2 years there. And then we were just behind a little fire station and the TA centre was just across the road. And then I think he was doing resettlement. They then decided to buy a house in Jarrow, but my dad's originally from Stratford-upon-Avon, so all his family's down there, and my mum's originally from Catterick. I'm going to say Colburn, Catterick, and her sister moved to Colne, near Burnley, because her husband was in the army and they moved off, so they just decided to settle in Jarrow. Then I went to school there.
You say you don't remember a lot of your childhood and all that, but did you find it different coming like from Germany back to the UK? Do you remember that? Because it's a weird environment growing up to in the military.
Yeah. Wait, to be honest, I can't. It's mad. Like, I just remember bits, do you know what I mean? I remember being in heaven, remember going to primary school there, but I can't remember much of like the army schools and stuff like that. I think it is because
you were quite young. You were younger, weren't you?
From place to place, yeah.
Yeah.
I got back to the UK and then I got put in a school and I was in year 5 or 6. So I was still young when I come back to you. And then I got the house in Jarrow where they're still situated now. Then I went to high school. I was a fucking nightmare.
What high school? I don't know Jarrow very well. I spent about 6 months there.
I went to Bolton School.
Oh, Bolton. See, I was AWOL at the time.
Yeah.
And I hid out in Jarrow, Beach Street, just near the tunnel. the Metro
yeah,
Bridge,
yeah.
just down there till I got caught and then locked up. But that's another
Aye,
story.
so said I went to boarding school. I liked that, but it was mad because I finally got some friends in primary school, and then I went to a totally different school away from all them. So it was just me by myself going to this high school. So it took us a while to get used to that, but it kind of helped that I'm used to like bouncing around. So
Yeah.
you just adjust. And then I was a bit of a nightmare, so I got put on this thing called work related. So when you go to work for 2 days a week, school for one, and then college for one. And I was doing mechanics at Fort Jennings, and because I wanted to pursue a career in mechanics. But I then got bored of that. I got qualified doing that. Then I left school and I wanted to join the army at 16, but my dad said no. He was like, nah, you need to try something beforehand, make sure it's what you want. So I left the job as a mechanic. I needed a job. So I then went to work for a place called Spark Response. It was like warehouse and it was like picking and packing type thing. I'd done that. And then I liked that, but I got made redundant. I was like, what the fuck? Um, I was proper like me and another lad. We used to race round and see how fast we could do it and that, and how good we'd do it. And yeah, we got made redundant because we were the newest there. And then that brings us up to like 17 and a half, something like that. I ended up just like hanging out with friends and stuff like that, just bumming it basically. Signed on. My dad was like, fucking hell, what's he doing? He's just like hanging around the streets and stuff like that. And then I went, well, I want to join the army. And then we went down to the careers office in South Shields, signed up, and then that's when my life changed for the better,
So
I
what
think.
year was it you joined?
Seven. I
So I
joined.
mean, you knew that you joined then.
Mhm.
Did you have any inkling beforehand that you'd probably end out on tour within a very short amount of time
Yeah,
after training?
yeah. So I knew that I was going to go to training because obviously Afghan was going on, and I knew that I kind of wanted to go because I seen a lad that had come back from one of the earlier Herricks who I used to hang around with, and I seen him and all the attention he was getting and shit like that, and I was just like, I wouldn't mind a bit of that, like his stories and that. I was like, I wouldn't mind some of that. And then he was talking about extra money and stuff like that. I was like, right, go for it. Um, then went up the Glen course, done the army selection thing. Previous to that, in school, I think it was about year 9 before this work related thing. I went on an army look at life, and it was 2 weeks. A load of us from school who volunteered for it, and I loved it. It was like doing an obstacle course. It was doing a bit of field craft. I can't remember if it was DCCT. Didn't know if I had that then, but it was like loads of like army skills and drills, and I fucking loved it. The first day I got there, like on the morning, we got there on the night, slept in the beds on the night, got taught how to make a bed and stuff like that. Got up in the morning, got on parade, and then got marched, like I'll TikToking and fucking looking daft, because we're just kids. And
Yeah.
I went to the cookhouse, and it was a full English. I was like, what the fuck? You get this every morning? And they were like, yeah. I was like, no fucking way. And from then, I was just like, yes, this is brilliant. And then, right, so back to joining. So I done Glen course, loved that. Done the tests and stuff. You do the jerry can lift, the pull ups, the push ups, all that. Loved it. I remember asking a PTI if I could go for a tab because I smoked at the time. He was going, "You're asking a PTI if you could go for a fucking cigarette? Do you know who I am?" type thing. I was like, "Oh fucking hell." It's like, I'm health and fitness, and you're asking me to fucking pollute your lungs and stuff like that. I was like, fucking hell. That was the first. That was the first bit of shouting, and then I went
Not the
back home.
last.
Loved that. Passed that. And there was loads of lads getting like knocked back for heart murmurs and shit like that. I was just like, fucking hell, what's a heart murmur? And then off I went back on the train back home, and then I think it wasn't long until they told us, right, get ready for ITC. So then went to me
I
mum
mean,
and dad's.
did you pick the infantry, or was it
Yeah,
given to you?
yeah. So yeah, they give us option. I'd done the barb test, like when John is taller than Jim, who was smaller, stuff like that. And I did get infantry scores. I wasn't very. I was street smart. I wasn't like book smart.
Yeah.
But I wanted to kind of follow in my dad's footsteps in the written statement. Well, my dad written statement saying, "Oh, I was 2 RF. It's like family regiment, this, that, and other." So I was guaranteed 2 RF pretty much. So I joined as that, and then we got took to my mum and dad took us to ITC. We went in the NAFI, and then we didn't say we goodbyes on out. They said, "Right, we're going to take this lot. We'll be back soon." Didn't see my parents again for another 6 weeks. My mum was distraught. She was like, "I didn't even get to see you goodbye." And that was the initial, like, wow, that's me joining.
What was it like when you first turned up there then? I mean, you'd have had an inkling, I suppose. Did your dad give you any advice, or did he just say fucking crack on with it?
He pretty much said crack on, to be honest. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he got us. Well, before I got there, he was like, right, you need to run a mile and a half, do this, get out running, get out running. So I was getting out running. And my PFA time was half decent, and that passed the selection centre. So I kind of went unprepared. Like, I just took it as shock value. Like, right, I'm just getting into this. I'm going to smash it. I'm fit, but I think I'm fit, and it's what I want. There was no like, oh well, I'll just suck it if it's shit. It was like, right, I'm in this for the long haul. So when I got there, it was like shock and capture. Like, they didn't let us say bye to our parents or no like that. Took us straight to get sized up, stripped us down to boxers. DS, they were like just ripping in every art. Lads with tattoos were like, "What you fucking sketchbooking?" Stuff like that. Do you know the normal like trying to like fucking out like wake you up type thing? That was an experience. But then we got to the block, and then I'm sure we've done icebreaker. Yeah, we've done icebreakers just to get to know lads and that. And there was a couple of lads that had done cadets, so they thought they were like all high and mighty, but they just got shot down straight away. But yeah, the training was brilliant. I loved every second of it. Like, we thrashed day and night. We had a Gurkha lad in our section, which was lucky because he done all the beds on the room inspections. He used to work in a hotel, so he done all the beds for us, so we didn't get picked up.
That's unusual, though, getting a Gurkha in training with you, because they're normally in their own, aren't they?
Well, he was joining. I'm sure he was joining Royal England. I think his dad was Gurkhas, but he wanted to join Queensday. He didn't want to go Gurkhas because I know Gurkhas have got like a strict rank structure. If they don't get like top third, they're not promoting, and they end up in, I don't know, as a chef or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the like it's hard
Yeah,
to
I mean,
promote there.
they do have high standards.
They are rigid.
Yeah, good soldiers, but they are. You're right, they are fucking rigid. Like, I must admit.
Yeah, definitely. So training was mint. I loved it. And then we got told just before we passed off that we were going to Afghan in 2009. So I passed out April 2008. Then I had a week off, and then I went down to Hounslow. That was an experience. Absolute fucking shithole. Sorry for the people that were from Hounslow. But yeah, went down there. It was right under Heathrow Airport, and they had a morgue on camp. So if any planes crashed, that's where all the bodies would go. So it was creepy as out on a night time. So I went there.
To be fair, I didn't even know there was a camp down there.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not cavalry barracks, is it? No, is it cavalry barracks?
I'm not sure. I literally didn't know there was one down there.
Yeah, it's in Hounslow West, right next to Heathrow. So went there. That was daunting because soon as you got there, turned up at the company offices, everyone's eyeing you out and stuff like that. And then got taken by a COS to my room, which was meant to be temporary accommodation, but we ended up staying in that for 2 years. They just got back from. They just got back from Cyprus. I think they got sent to Iraq, I believe. So come back, it was like, well, you haven't done a tour from Red Arse. A bit of that, but kind of settled in straight away. And
But a
then,
lot of people do say that it's as daunting turning up at your unit as it is turning up at training, if not more so for some people.
yeah, well,
Back in my day, when I joined '85,
mm,
the army was very different. Let's say the initiation ceremonies and stuff like that, you wouldn't get away with them now. We probably wouldn't have got away with them in your day either. To be fair,
nah.
Did you experience anything like that, or was it just the normal banter from the guys?
We did well. So I I landed on my feet really because after a week I then went to Canada. I got sent to Canada because I needed people, and obviously if we were going to Afghan, I needed to get some like experience on exercise type thing, get a bit more time with a section. So I went to Canada, and then that was absolutely fantastic. It was freezing cold, but I loved that. It was at the time when we didn't really use our phones and stuff like that. Like we had the obviously using the code on the post box and stuff like that. But now you've got everything open to you, haven't you?
Yeah.
So it was hard getting back like to tell me mum and dad what was going on. So I just kind of left it as that and just cracked on. And then ended up getting our section got attached to two Yorks, and we ended up a warrior when I was in a light role regiment. Thoroughly enjoyed that. They didn't see us as a brand new lad because nobody told them that I just joined. Do you know what I mean? I was just all my skills and drills were on point. I could carry myself. Then I got back from that in October time. Then the section commander from the Fusiliers who I was with two Yorks, come back and tell the OC how good I'd done. And then I got selected from there for an NCO cadre that
Fucking hell,
started
that's
in
quick.
January of 2009, and I deployed at Afghan. So the NCO cadre finished, when was it? It finished in March 2009. I got deployed April, and I got promoted on tour. So within that space and time, from passing out to going to Afghan, I'd already done Canada. I'd done a couple of other courses, and then I'd done the NCO cadre in Brecon under the legend Spider Taylor. Queens still know who he is. He's a humanitarian now. He goes doing disaster response, but he was the keenest man ever. He used to run the fan on a Wednesday. Absolute bloke. So I had no pre-deployment training. I was in Brecon January 2009, and it got to minus 18 in Form 4. Everyone got pulled in apart from the Queen's Div NCO cadre. Even selection that were in Sennybridge got pulled in, and Spider Taylor I think he got told off about that. But yeah, we ended up coming in. It was absolutely freezing. We had tea lights in, with boots and everything. And then from that March, then I had a week off. Then I got all my kit, and then we flew to Afghan.
Fucking hell. I mean, that's like, you're flying, aren't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's to get
So
your card
then,
across. I mean, you say you got promoted on it, promoted on tour. Fucking hell, that's good going, mate.
yeah. So then,
I mean, what were your
2009.
thoughts? What were your thoughts of arriving in Afghanistan?
I was still, well, my whole career was busy. I was always doing something. So really I had no time to think. Like deep into things, I was just like looking for the next thing, right? How can I smash this? How can I prove myself? How can I like be the best I can be without getting shit wrong? So I got dropped off Bryce Norton, and then met up with a couple of faces that I'd seen, because you gotta think, from me getting to battalion to then getting sent off for 6 to 8 weeks, having a little bit of leave, and then going on an NCO card at the end of January, I hadn't seen much of the regiment. I'd only seen like the people that I was on the NCO card with that turned up with me, and most of them had been in for ages, because it's very rare for someone to get on an NCO card that quick. But I presume they needed NCOs and no one volunteered, or they did just think I was actually good enough. So then seen a couple of lads, and then got the Bastion, done RSOI. Bear in mind, I had no pre-deployment training. So all this was new to me. Like 3 weeks ago, I was freezing my arse off in Brecon. Now I'm in Camp Bastion. So my fucking toes are still thawing out. But yeah, then met platoon. I was originally A company, then I got put in A company group. I got moved across to 11 platoon, so I was still in A company, and we got sent in Fognole. When we got there, it was different. Like we got on the Herc, no, on the Chinook from Bastion, flew in, and it was just like, right, everyone run over there. We're like, fucking hell, what's going on? but that was just to get us up the Chinook. But everyone thought that, oh, there's something happening. So like, right, get off, get off, get off. But that was just them playing a game on us. So we were like, fuck, get with Bergens, off we go. So then get put in more accommodation. Well, the Marines had took over the Fob Norley on the tour before us, so we took over them, and there was like RPG marks all over the walls, like there was still brass everywhere. They managed to get the engineers and done the Hesco Bastion and made a secure fob. But yeah, that was an experience landing there and then actually getting in the accommodation. It wasn't really accommodation; it was like buildings that the Marines had took. And rather than us staying in the building, there was our section that stayed on the side. It was like a mud hut thing, and all the roof was loose, but we're in with cot beds. And that was pretty much the first day that we arrived. It was different.
What was it like going out on your first patrol there then?
Yeah, the first patrol, it was a familiarization patrol. So it was led by the lads that had already been there. So we were doing like a handover, takeover. But they were saying that you can't push more than 2K without getting contacted. So on our first patrols, well, we pushed them, we must have done about 4K the first patrol just to get to know the area. But we were quite deep in the green zone. So where our fob was, we were quite high up and it looked down on so the north, it was called Millionaires Row. So there were like not brick built houses, nicer mud built houses. And then over to the east, over to the west, it was the green zone, the canal, and the 611, I believe it was called, the main road, like the spine road that went up. And there was a area called Colossus. That's where Taliban were known to be. And we pushed in there and then come round and just meeting the locals, and that was just very, very weird. And the smells, like it was something that you'll always remember, like the smell of going through them wavy, what you call alleys, like through the compounds, and people just looking at you different, and you had to be dead wary because we were in somewhere where, well, lads had died, like we had taken over like the Marines where they had lost a few people there. So we were just like, oof, didn't know what to expect. We had the Valens were getting high tones all the time. So we were reacting every single one because obviously that was our first patrol. But as time went on, we are just like, you kind of got a feel for it. But yeah, the first that was the first patrol. It wasn't actually that bad, but it kind of, yeah.
I mean, it's about, especially for yourself, because you haven't had the experience, and that's like straight out there into it. It's gonna,
Yeah.
it would have been quite, like you said, it was, unnerving, daunting.
But
and the areas we're in were dangerous. You know what I mean?
I was kind of in the same boat with the other lads, though, because most of my section, well, most of the platoon hadn't done Afghan, so it was all new to everyone, if you know what I mean. So apart from obviously the section commanders and the already Lance Jacks, but it was all new to all of us, because we're quite a new platoon. It was only the full crews that had done a couple of tours. Everyone under it was a new experience to everyone, so everyone was in the same boat.
Do
But
you think that helped? I mean, when you've got a new unit like that, and you've gone out and you've gone on tour and stuff, do you think that helped gel the platoon together as well?
100%.
Because you've instantly got to trust each other, haven't you?
100%. Once we got to Afghan, there was no red arse this, red arse that. It was just like, right, we need to fucking stick together here. And that's how it was. And that's the thing that I like the most about the army is you'll have arguments with people, but you'll never fall out, if you know what I mean, because you've got to make it work. And that's what I like about the army.
Yeah, I mean, you have arguments with people at work. I mean, fucking on mess dues and stuff like that. You end up knocking chunks out of each other. And then 30 seconds later, you're having a pint.
Yeah.
There's no animosity.
Nah.
In my whole time in the army, I didn't dislike anyone. I might have not really liked them, but not to any extent. And again, when you meet people later on, and many years later, it's just like as though you've never been away from each other. Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, so then that was my first patrol anyway. It was just it was the same every time. Every time you left the gate, the Taliban would count you out because we were on a hill. So getting counted out, counted in, IDs all the time. I was bomber man a few times. I found some good ID. I think it was about halfway through the tour, a section of us got tasked to establish a PB, patrol base, deep in the green zone. So it was led by one of the lads. Now, I'll not mention his, but led by one of the lads, and then I was his 2IC, but then I had some of recce platoon that had been in ages down there as well. There was just like a multiple of us. But after establishing that, we found IEDs in there that we had been stepping on. So where one of the sentry positions was on top of the building, at the bottom of the stairs, one of the civvies, no, one of the A&A told us that there's an IED there. It was up, like just below the bottom step. So we were stepping on that every time we were going up and down to Stag. We're doing, I think it was 3 hours on, 2 hours off. And that was fucking brutal. And then we dug that out, but the batteries had corroded. So it didn't
Fucking hell.
it didn't ignite. And then so we were basically just stagging on that PB so other platoons could like come down, take a breather, get the kit off, and then push on. So we done that for a bit, but the engineers were there and they had come down and they managed to get the forks down to move like some Hesco Bastion and shit like that. I'd just come off Stag and I was just wearing me shorts, me Jesus sandals, and me little towel because the river was just there and it was under the Sangha, so we'd jump in just to fucking cool off.
Yeah.
So I was pottering behind. Next thing you know, boom, fucking massive explosion, dust everywhere. I'm up off my feet. I get flown back. The fucking forks in the tunnel where because this PB is only small. It's only a small compound, and there was an archway going into it, and it was like a hollow square. This compound. So I was walking through. Next thing you know, fucking boom, ID goes off. The forks had went on it in the tunnel. So I flew back. I'm like, fucking hell, everyone's running out. I was like, get him in there, get him there. The engineer. But as he went over it, I think the seat and that had took all the blast, and he was all right. He was like startled. He got medevac home, and anyway, I know that. But once it had all settled down, all the dust cleared, only had like a couple of cuts and that on us. But I was in the archway, and then one of the lads went to the back of the compound wall and was pulling out shrapnel like that. So that's gone past me, me shorts and me flip flop, all that, and stuck right at the back of the compound. Me fucking ears were ringing for days. The medic checked us over, and then that was it. Me fucking ears were fucking killing. I was just like, wow, fucking hell, how fucking lucky is that? I only had like little bits of stone chips and a couple of scrapes off this whole fucking blast coming that way, and I've been blown back 10 meters. I was like, what the fuck? I was like the luckiest man ever. But
That's what make you think. After I'd imagine the adrenaline took quite a while, a few days to come down off that as well.
Yeah.
But did it make you more alert?
Yeah, well, a little bit more paranoid because obviously we didn't expect that was like inside the compound that we were walking past. But obviously the weight of the forks that had come through this archway had set it off. But then we're getting stuff like suicide donkey IEDs, and we're getting RPG airbursts. We had a donkey sent down on a command wire and they blew it up outside the gate, and all that was left.
That's just fucking mad.
Yeah, all that was left was the head. I've got pictures of it and that mental.
Fucking hell.
But
no RSPCA out there then, eh?
Nah. But then there was a rotation. So we had like established it. We were getting the odd contact. We had established it with the A&A. A&A, by the way, fucking brutal. Like the way they'd wake each other up with staggers, fire the weapons. So we were getting no fucking sleep on our little time off we had. But then the platoon started rotating through. So I then joined back in the platoon. And then that was it established. So then we'd done the rotation going through.
What were your thoughts on the ANA as well?
One of the lads had a bust up with him because he said something to one of the lads because they come down on the jackals because our recce patrol had the jackals, and I remember he was arguing with him back and forward, and then the lads just turned and he's had the HMG. He just went, "You fucking what?" And then we're like, "Whoa, slow down, calm down." But I didn't trust them. However, when we did catch one of the Taliban blokes, and the A&A said, right, we'll take him, we'll interrogate him. You just hear like stuff going on. But they were all right, to be fair. They were all right. There was one I got quite close to. I can't remember his name now though. But he died when we won a company up. We were pushing north. We had to go secure some compounds, pushing north up the canal path. There was the A&A were on each bridge on the way up, all the way up. It was about 5-6 k, I think. The A&A were on the bridges on the way up, and I was at the back of the Sergeant Major, and we were patrolling, and we just went, oh, you all right? Whatever he's called. Next thing you know, we walk, I'd say about 20-30 metres past. Boom! We're like, what the fuck? Turn around. Where he was stood on the bridge, just pink mist. Pink mist. We're like, fucking hell. Because obviously the ECM, it's omnidirectional there. So he's come out of that. And that's when it was like, fuck. And then on that company up, we were getting targeted all the time, like the radio chatter, because down there they didn't have any comms, they just had the dicaphones. So we, during that tour, we had 429 like rules of engagement at some point. So if you believed there was a threat, like, you'd take it out, like with a Geneva Convention type thing. But yeah, our 2 platoon took a hammering, lost a few, but I'm not talking about that. And then one of our lads, he got blown up as well. There was a couple actually. But yeah, it was just that it was more IEDs and like RPGs and stuff like that, airbursts that were going off. Our tasked to go on Panther's Claw, Panchi's plan. So that was joint forces. It was under 2 rifles battle group, but I found out later on that light dragoons are there. So we got dropped off, and they hadn't been pushing far at all. And then our platoon got dropped off on the night time. Chinook dropped. There was mortars going off, like there was contacts, there was fucking scimitars firing and everything. We were like, fucking hell, this is like, we thought back there was bad. And then after that night, it was just so fucking relaxed. It was mental. Literally so relaxed. We were just pushing, like raiding compounds, finding weapons. And because it was out in the sticks, we didn't really have the IED threat as much. And we were just pushing forward, then staying in compounds, getting the locals to make us food and green tea and shit like that. We kept bounding forward. And I forgot what I was going to say. I'm fucking off track here. So yeah,
Panther's Claw was a big operation, wasn't it?
yeah. It was only our platoon out there Fusiliers that actually went. We just got tasked with it. Yeah, it was massive operation. But we just went off clearing compounds like there was no tomorrow. There was only a couple of instances where we had to do warning shots. I got contacted a couple of times. A couple of dogs tried to attack one of the lads. Had to kill the dog. Yeah, it was all right, but the only thing was we couldn't get resupplied. So we were drinking out of wells. Obviously, the wells, and you're pumping them, and they've got like worms in the water. A Chinook did do a resupply, nearly blew one of the lads off the roof, but they wouldn't take our ECM batteries. So I ran on with all these batteries onto the back of this Chinook, like in a proper risky area, ran on the back. There was a news crew on the fucking thing. I was like, take these batteries. And then, no, we can't take them. So then we looked around these fucking batteries for God knows how many days, and then we just ended up buried them. We couldn't fucking carry them. Couldn't carry them. So that was Panther.
Fucking doing it, isn't it?
That's what I can remember from Panther's Claw. But with
Burying the batteries.
before we got there, obviously we're getting the brief and that, like, oh, it's going to be Operation No Legs, and fucking you've got to get your tourniquets, put them on so they're ready for when you lose your leg, and you just have to tighten them up, type of thing. Put tourniquets on your arms. It was like one of them. It was like fucking hell, but just took it on the chin, and we just went anyway. But it wasn't that bad. Obviously, loads of different regiments and that got hammered. However, we must have been in a alright area. So then,
But imagine saying to a civvy, right, this job's going to be a bit dangerous. You've got to put a tourniquet on before you go.
yeah, most of you won't come back. That was
Yeah, right. You know, we had that. We had a similar type of briefing just before Optelic in 2003. They said, you know, we're all going to, the regiment's going out there, but not all of us are going to come back. You know, and you've got to deal with that. And to be honest, we like, you know,
Yeah,
didn't fucking think much of it. To be honest,
because
because you don't.
back then you joined because you wanted to be in. That's
Well, I
why
mean,
you
I
wanted
was
to
going to
be.
touch on that as well, and I've mentioned it quite a few times in the podcast. I interviewed a guy called Richard Collins, Colonel Collins, last year, and he said something that I'd never given any thought to. So you know, like people like me, the old and bold, are always saying, "Oh, it was fucking harder nowadays and stuff like that.
Mm.
You've got it easy in training and stuff like that." And I was giving a bit of joking about that with him because he ended up CO pair right. And he says, one thing you've got to remember, everyone joined then, and it was about the time, you know, that you joined. He says, you can remember everyone who joined then knew they were going to deploy, and they were still volunteering to join. And I'd never thought of it that way. You know, I just think fucking Sprog, Nig, whatever. But I never thought of it that way. And it made me rethink what I thought of people. Thinking,
Yeah.
you know, guys like yourself. You know, when I joined up, there was nothing. You know, there was Northern Ireland, and you were quite lucky to get on a Northern Ireland tour. You know, they did
Mm.
come round a bit more often.
Yeah.
There was nothing going on till later in the mid '90s, where most people were going out the Balkans and stuff like that. But for you lot to join up at your age, at 17 and a half, knowing that you're
That
going to
you're
go
going.
to Afghan,
Yeah.
you're either mental, right, or you didn't give a fuck, you know,
Yeah.
or you wanted to go. And if you
Yeah.
wanted to go, you were mental.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
Especially from what you were hearing from the lads coming back. Then RSOI getting to talk to the lads that had just come back and seeing everyone injured and shit like that. That was pretty mental, like. But yeah, there was a lad that I want to. He doesn't get. Well, I think he was incredible. There's a lad called John Keegans. He got blew up in a jackal, and by the time, so he broke both his legs, and a couple of months after, he was back out. He was back out. So he had,
On the ground, yeah.
yeah, you'd gone home and then come back. I was like, fucking hell, that's incredible. I got a picture of his holding him because I was going on R&R, holding him in the wheelchair, and then he come back out. I was like, fucking hell, you're mental, you. I don't know what my
Yeah,
phone's doing.
I mean, it's the whole thing, isn't it? You don't want to you get injured or whatever. And I know loads of guys that have said something similar about they've ended up getting not repatriated, but sent back,
Yeah,
and they feel guilty about leaving the guys behind.
yeah,
Do
yeah,
anything to get back out there.
yeah.
I've seen guys who didn't get to deploy for various reasons, be it medical or the army needed them somewhere else,
Hmm.
and it affects you. It affects people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
So
so
this
then,
was your first tour of Afghan.
yeah,
So what was it like coming back from Afghan?
we had all bonded. It was fucking brilliant. Like everyone was close now. So I kind of didn't get that new person anymore. We got back and then we done the parades and stuff. I got the medals, done a Freedom in London march, and then we got tasked with Queen's Guard. It was meant to be as um a well done, but it was fucking torture.
Well done. Pull your
I
fucking boots.
I enjoyed the guard bit, but I didn't enjoy the preparation, and it was just a fucking headache. But I enjoyed the drill. I like drill.
What?
Fucking
You like drill?
yeah, and we had like so I
That
went
is quite weird.
yeah. So then got back, we done that, but then I got sent to Kenya. Um, I went to Kenya, and then I bounced from Kenya to back to Canada with a regiment. Then I went and I got put on junior Brecon.
Fucking hell, you're flying.
And then then we were in Germany at the time. So then I got promoted in Germany. That was when I did juniors. 2011. So got promoted in 2011. Then I got sent down to Brecon to run the NCO cadre. So I went down in July 2012, May 2012 to DS on the course that I'd done a couple of years prior. So I'd done that straight after juniors when I spent a lot of time in Brecon during my career. Then,
So you don't need to visit it again.
nah, definitely not. Then I done holiday. I went to Kenya. I've been to Kenya 4 times. I've been to Canada 3. So all in that space. So I was always on courses or always on exercise. I keep referring to my fucking pictures. So 2014. That would have been earlier than that. End of. I've done juniors. Was it? Yeah, so I finished juniors April 2011, done a year, and then towards the end of 2012, I got posted to ITC Catterick as a full screw instructor.
I mean, that's a
Loved
good
that.
career move as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, I had to do it to promote a sergeant anyway, and that's what I was going for. But yeah, so it was it 2000. So within 4 years, got me full screw.
Yeah, that's not fucking bad going, mate.
No, when the normal rate was 4 years as a board, 4 years as a Landstrat, and then so I'd done all that within 4 years, and then I was posted to
I'll not tell you how long it took me to get my Landshark, but put it this way, it was double figures.
yeah. But then I got posted to ITC Catterick.
I mean, that's a very different type of posting as well. I mean, years ago, the people who went to training might not have been the best people to send there. You know what I mean? Especially in the infantry. Later on, we noticed through our careers that the instructors that were getting sent there were of a lot higher caliber. But sometimes the guys would go down there just because sometimes they wanted to do the battalion. You have to do the training course and stuff.
ITC, you had to be top third to go as an instructor, or you went the likes of Harrogate or Pirbright or somewhere like that, just doing phase one, whereas ITC was predominantly phase one and phase two. But that was an experience in itself. I really enjoyed that. But I knew that we were sending these lads to Afghan, where I'd just been previously. So I put everything into them. There was no slacking. I was like, proper, everything had to be right. The lads had to be prepared. I had to give them the fucking speech of like, if you fucking don't listen or you do something wrong, that can end up in one of your muckers dying and stuff like that. I had to like instill that into them to make sure that I wasn't going to get a phone call saying that, oh, you passed him out and he's passed. Do you know what I mean? It was one of them. Each course I was like that. But then, I don't know how, but I was pretty lucky because I ended up getting selected to go to Belize to run a NCO cadre for the BDF. So I went over there for 9 weeks, something like that. And they're a different bunch. Honestly, I touched on it on one of my TikTok videos. I had a section, and there was a lad called Diego, and they were keen as out. Like they were just they're just loyal to their army. And he had gone home, and that night he had been attacked with a machete. He had a big gash across his head. Obviously, they wear the caps. Next morning, he's like, "Oh, Corporal, I feel a bit dizzy." I was like, "What's the matter?" Like, he went, "Oh, this is 6 o'clock in the morning, ready for PT." He's like, "Oh, I got hit in the head last night." Lifted his hat off. I was like, "Fucking hell, get to the med centre." He was like, "There isn't a med centre." I went, "Get to the fucking medic." And I was just like, "You are fucking nuts." But because I hadn't met the people, I didn't know what they were like. Like, it was a total new experience. I fucking loved them. Like, I'd love to go back. I'd love to go back there. And the place is just amazing. But also in the jungle, I was learning off them, like navigating in the jungle and stuff like that. Like these were the lads that were stopping the drug smugglers coming from Guatemala into Belize. That was their job, and there was lads in my section that had been shot by the Guatemalan smugglers and stuff like that. So they were on the ball, and we were exercising in the area where the drug smuggling was happening. So we were teaching them skills and drills and like harbour areas and stuff like that. But they were teaching us, but we were in hammocks and they were just making their own beds because they were used to that shit. We were like,
Yeah.
fucking, like the ground moves. You can hear
Yeah,
the
no.
ground moving on the night time. And then they could hear us because the next morning when everyone got up, I was going, what the fuck is that? Someone's under me fucking and you could hear them all giggling and that. I was like, the fuck he's laughing at? And it ended up being a possum, but it sounded like something fucking massive. Oh, that was freaky, but you kind of got used to it, all the noises and stuff. Like, I love Belize.
I mean, the only experience I've had of jungle was in Jamaica. We did an exercise in Jamaica. And it's, I don't want to ever go back in the fucking jungle again in my life. It's hot, sweaty, you can't see. It's fucking
I
not
won't go
nice.
under the canopy. I won't go under the canopy again.
No.
Navigating through that was a nightmare. You're having to fucking machete through, and then if you go off your bearing, so if there's a tree in your way, you've got to do 5 steps right, and then you go forward, then you've got to go 5 steps left to keep your bearing because it's that thick. And we ended up jumping on the end of a tracker course, like the SEER, Search, Evade, Resist, Escape. I volunteered to jump on the back end of that. The rest of the lads didn't. They were like, fuck that. We had to kill a chicken, got a chicken, live for 2 days just surviving, drinking from water vines and stuff like that. I fucking love that. It was mid. Then we had at the end of it, we had a meal with I think he was a general or something, but they showed us how to kill a pig and they cooked it underground and they done it their way and that was fucking unbelievable. Like they done pork crackling and that. We had to shave the pig and best food I've ever had. Still to this day. It was incredible. So then I then went back to ITC, done another platoon, passed another platoon out, and then I got tasked to go to Dubai. Whilst at ITC, it was unheard of. Like I'd just
Fucking hell,
been
you're getting
selected.
about a bit, you like.
Yeah, and I went to Dubai. We're there for 7 or 8 weeks. There was just a team of us, just a range team. We went out there to run ranges for the UAE, their army. So eating in their scoff house and that, curry for breakfast, curry for lunch, curry for tea. I fucking love curry. Like, I was in my element. Everyone else was like, what the fuck? I was like, this is fucking mint. I love this. But then we got some time because one of the artillery guns had an accident that ended up one of the UAE blokes ended up cutting him in half. So the Rangers were shut for a couple of weeks. So then we went exploring. We hired a car and then we went to the world's biggest water park. We went to the mall. It was bliss like. And then I come back to ITC Catterick after that. I finished my last platoon and then found out that 2RF were getting disbanded. I was like, for fuck's sake. And then
You know, it's a battalion with a massive history as well.
it was a fucking massive mistake. That battalion was unreal. It had so much, like, it was full. Everyone wanted to be in 2RF, and it was pretty much overmanned. But then, as soon as they'd done that, lots of lads didn't want to go to Tidworth because they're all Northerners. It's fucking on a bad Friday, taking 9 hours to get home, and you got to get back for the Sunday. It's just so loads of lads went elsewhere. So I asked for an extension at ITC. So I stayed as a Fusilier, but I didn't have my second Fusilier flash on. So I extended there, ended up doing basic drill course. Then I got selected for the advanced drill course. I then done the advanced drill course. So that was preparing us to go to Sandhurst if I wanted to. That would have been like a tick in the box, like, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to Sandhurst as a colour boy. So then, because 2RF got cut, extended there, I spoke to the Reggie Shepherd, and he said, well, light dragoons are coming to Catterick. They're light reconnaissance, they're in jackals, the work off jackals, so the light role, basically. But they move on vehicles. I was like, right, no bother. I'll have a look into it. I'd look into it. I thought, right, well, yeah, I'm not going to Tidworth. Fuck that. And
Don't blame you.
yeah, I joined them. That was another change. I don't think, well, a few of the Fusiliers transferred across, but I don't think they used us correctly.
I mean, how did they take to you? You coming in from infantry into them?
All right.
Were you accepted or?
Yeah, but I feel that all the other lads were put before us, especially one of the lads, he just done the JWIC Jungle Warfare's instructor's course, and he had done NCO Carla Juniors. He was keen as out, but they put him in MT, and they kept him in MT.
So it's just waste.
It was just a waste, and I was kind of fucking disappointed for him. Do you know what I mean? He's just now signing out vehicles. What the fuck? But I was in a squadron, which was brilliant. The OC was mid, the Sergeant Major was even better. They looked after us, spent a lot of time in the training wing, training the lads for their crew commanders. So I was helping running ranges, like they don't touch LMG, so I volunteered myself. I went, well, I can train them on LMG and run an ACMT and stuff like that. So I kept myself busy, so I was out of bother. I was always doing something. I was busy as fuck all the time. Then I went on the Platoon Commander's Battle Course for the A-Qual. I obviously didn't do tactics because I wasn't an officer, but I went and done the A-Qual. Ready for promotion, because there you don't need seniors, you need crew commanders. That tick in the box. But then it turned out that I didn't have the tick in the box because juniors wasn't equivalent. But then I said to them, well, I'm running the pre-course for the crew commanders. But then
So Brecken's not the equivalent of a crew commander's course?
that's what they said, but then it changed.
I was going to say, what a lot of shite.
Yeah, then it changed. So then went away, got me equal, and running ranges. Then I went on an exercise, and that's when I hurt my back. I was in a jackal in the drive. I hit a ditch in the dark. I've gone forward, gone back, hurt my spine, and then that was that. That was pretty much that instance was what ended my career, because from then I done another, I think it was another year after that, because I was going to the med centre saying, look, my back's killing. I've never been sick before. I'm fucking in agony here. And they're going, oh, well, the first instance, I come in off the ground. After that point of impact, hit my back, went in off the ground. I was like, I'm fucking sore as fuck. Then standard, got some paracetamol, wait in the cabin until the doctor comes in the morning. Doctor assessed. Then they went, all right, well, yeah, have a day's rest. Then off you go back out and right on. And finished off the exercise in agony, absolute agony. But they kind of give us a bit of leeway, because I was like to the boss, look, I'm in clip here, and he was decent bloke, mid bloke. He was like, right, you stay with the DS while we do everything else, and then the DS will bring you back, type of thing. So I wasn't taken off the exercise. I was still part of it. And then we're in camp for a while, and then we're doing pre-deployment for Poland. I was doing physio, stuff like that, because it said it's a scoliosis, abnormal curvature of the spine. And I was like, well, I haven't had that before. Then I went deployed to Poland, and 5 months into Poland, went for a run, sat down, my legs just went completely numb, couldn't feel them. And then got medevac back, and then a week after that I had my first surgery, and I've had 4 surgeries since.
So what was the actual injury in you?
Well, it was from that.
Yeah,
but I didn't get an MRI until a year and a half later.
So it was too late?
Yeah, but I'd done all the build-up to Poland with a bad back, because in my mind I was thinking, well, there's nothing wrong with this. Doctors had this, done the physio, crack on, and I was just stiff. And it wasn't until Poland when I knew that something wasn't right, because my legs just give up. I couldn't feel them. And then, then went through the whole surgeries, was at home, and then I got the medical discharge papers through before my first surgery. And I was like, no, you can't do this. You can't medically discharge us when I've got surgery coming up. How am I going to get a job and stuff like that? So then I ended up extending as I got put under the PRU, the Personal Rehabilitation Unit. And then I ended up getting extended until 2020, and that's when I got out. And I was meant to have
how good is your back now after the surgeries?
Not good at all.
No.
So I was meant to have a spinal fusion a few years back, but my temperature was too high. And I took that as a sign. I was just like, right, I'm kind of managing now. When I got out, I had to really think about it. But I don't know how to put it. It was just a shit time. It was.
I can imagine. I mean, someone as keen as you, who's fucking, let's face it, is flying through his career, for it to be cut short like that. And whether that was through the attitude of the medical centre or whatever, we've all been there. Here's a couple of brufen, fuck off, you'll be all right. I mean, I'm not comparing what happened to me to you, because it's nowhere near. Mm-hmm. I had shin splints for years. And they just kept saying, fucking, you're fat, you're old, whatever, take some tablets. And then one day they sent me to see a specialist, and he was like, right, you're getting operated on next week. Your legs are fucked. And I was like, yeah, I've been trying to tell everyone that for years.
Yeah.
But they just, a bit of yourself also says, nah, fuck all. And you'd have been going through that mindset as well when you were with your bad back, thinking, is it really? I mean, again, it should have been spotted a bit earlier, shouldn't it?
It could have been. But obviously, if you're in that amount of time, you can have discrepancies in your spine, you can have lumps and bumps, but I don't know. I don't know if it would have helped if they caught it earlier or not. I don't know. I don't really think about that. Do you know what I mean?
I was going to say there's no point in worrying about it now. It's past. You can't change what's already happened.
But I went from that career being flat out. I was never in camp. I was always somewhere. To then I was confined to my bed for 8 months.
I mean, mentally, that must have been a bit hard.
I had a catheter in. I couldn't get the toilet for shit. My lass would come in, I'd shit the bed, and like it was fucking horrible, man. It took a toll on my mental health. Like I was on the verge of doing me selling. Like I really was. But if it wasn't for the support of my family, but no one knew this was happening. Like no one at the Light Spoons knew it was happening. Like I was sending shit back, but I was getting nothing back. And it wasn't till my dad had reached out to one of his old platoon commanders or something, and then it went across. And then I had the Padre, the Sergeant Major, the welfare officer, everyone in my house. And then that's when the support.
I've seen it happen. You know, people get MD, not MD, but sent on, and they're probably going to get MD. And the regiments just do forget about them. Out of sight, out of mind. You know, it's not an excuse, but it does happen.
They were busy as well. Like they were still in Poland for another month or so. Then they were getting back, and like I was just on the sick basically at home. So they didn't really know how bad it was. I was passing it up, but yeah, obviously didn't get very far. But yeah, so then that was me. I had to learn to walk again in the PRU. I was on that. I was in a wheelchair. I still use one now and then. I was in a wheelchair for good 2 years.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, until my 30s.
The thing is, I met you on, I say met you, I found you on TikTok. None of the, I've seen, the light-hearted side of you and everything like that. You wouldn't have an inkling. Yeah, you wouldn't have an inkling of your story from what you project. You know what I mean?
I don't like to talk about that side, but I will at some point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the life
Sometimes
struggles.
you have to.
Like,
Sometimes you do have to talk about it, just as much to get out of your own fucking head.
It's like when the Ben was young, I couldn't pick him up. I couldn't interact. I couldn't kick a ball. I've still got problems now. So when I go up the allotment, I'll always go up with someone. One of my mates, he's unemployed. Damo, he's an absolutely brilliant lad. He's between jobs. He comes up and helps us. I get an idea in my head and he does it, type of thing. And so he does all the lifting and moving and bending and stuff like that. Just it's like
he's a labourer.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
We could all do with one of them.
Yeah. But some days I can't go up, like to feed up. I'll just give Damo a ring. He lives around the corner and he'll go up and do it for us. Because some days I'm in bed for a couple of days. Obviously, being confined in my bed had a toll on my mental health. I used to deal with stuff by running, but obviously that got taken away. And it took us a long time going through therapy, and I went through RAF Lehman, then I went through civi therapy, EMDR, CBT, CPT, done all that. Still ongoing because it brought everything back up, like the stuff that I haven't spoke about that happened on the tours and stuff. Me being static for that long, and then even the explosion that happened in the tunnel, I was getting woke up by that, and I was like, why the fuck is that happening? That's not even scary. So it was confusing, and I didn't know how to deal with that. I'd get night terrors, right? But I'd wake up sweating, and it'd be more of an inconvenience than me panicking, if you know what I mean. I'd be like, fuck's sake, I've just got to sleep, because my back was killing. It takes us ages to get comfortable. And then I was having these fucking night terrors that scares in my dream, but it didn't scare us in real life. You hear people like waking up, fucking shouting the house down, and they've got to be calmed down. I was just getting up and I was like, for fuck's sake, it's mental. So it took us a long time to go through each one, but obviously the NHS therapy side isn't great because the first one I had 8 sessions and they only touched on one thing, but that was their cut-off. You were only allowed 8 sessions. And then I went from there, I got bounced to somewhere else, done a bit with them, got bounced to somewhere else, and it was just a fucking nightmare, absolute nightmare. But with the family help, that's kind of what got us out the dark. and that initial interaction with RAF Lehman, that was fucking brilliant. Started off phone calls because I couldn't get transport, because obviously I couldn't fucking move out my bed. And then it got to a point when they were sending cars to come and get us, take us down, and then pick us back up, which I thought was like, well, I hadn't received any care like that because I never needed it. But I thought that was really good that they'd done that. But yeah, so I was bouncing in and out RAF Lehman.
So were you still serving then when you were going to
Yeah.
RAF Lehman? Or
Yeah, so Poland was 2017. So I hurt me back 2015. Poland was 2017, and then I got out 2020. So in between 17 and 20, I had 2 spinal surgeries, still couldn't walk, still in the wheelchair, and I had my third one 2021, and I was due one after that, and that was the fusion. That's where all the discs are fused together. But that would have 100% limited me. Bring it. That would have limited like me movement indefinitely. Yeah, and then obviously my temperature was too high, so that's when it was like, is this a sign from God to say if I don't do it?
yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, you mentioned there about it's it's a permanent thing, isn't it? Limiting your
Mhm.
ability. But I mean,
Yeah.
would it make the pain less? You don't know, do you?
Yeah, well, he said it was a 50-50, and I said, well, if I need it, because this was at a private hospital under a well-known neurosurgeon, and he said, I said to him, how long have I got left till like I'm permanently in a wheelchair? And he said, this was in 2019, about 2019. He said, I'll give you 2 years. And I was like, what? And then that's when he recommended the spinal fusion, because he said that could give us a bit longer. And then I went, right, well, I want a second opinion. So I went down to Manchester to the top the top boy. And he said, yeah, by 2021, 2022, that's when you'll be permanently in a wheelchair.
Okay,
So
you're doing quite well then.
yeah, well, I do my exercise, I do my physio, I try and keep myself as active as possible. It's one of them, like if you stop, that's you. Do you know what I mean? So I've got to, because my mind thinks I can do it, but everyone has to tell us, right, fucking slow down, sit down. Like, I've still got that mentality where I want to do stuff, but I can't fucking do it. But like I
I mean,
went,
that must be frustrating as well. But I mean, if you can keep your mind active as well as your body active, it's going to help. It's going to help.
yeah, but doing this fucking TikTok, like,
I was going to ask what led you onto that.
I was just fucking about with it. Couple of my videos hit, and then I thought, hey, this is quite good, this. And then I was like watching how other people do it, and I still don't know how to do it properly. Like, I think I've got 10.1, 10.2 followers now. And I was just looking at how other people do it, and I was just like, this is actually like a load off my chest type thing, and I want to try and like help the next generation, because at the minute I'm still seeing specialists and stuff like that about my back, but it turns out that when we're concentrating on my back, I've got bulging discs in my neck.
Fucking hell.
So yeah, they reckon I damaged my neck in that accident as well, but I didn't know because all the pain was in my back. So I've been getting injections and doing physio. But yeah, if I think if I was a horse, I'd be shot. But I still taking over. But it's good though, because like the TikTok, it fucking entertains us and it gives us something to fucking do. Because I like teaching, I like reaching out, I like helping people. But it also gives me something to concentrate on in the meantime, because I'm still awaiting whatever's gonna happen. At the minute, I can't wait, but I want to try and pursue something that I can do, if you know what I mean.
I mean, I seen one of your TikToks, I think it was today, where you were on about, saying to people who want to join up, ask you a question, ask you anything you want, and always be aware of. And I had to stop then because I was at work and I didn't get to the rest of it. But I knew what you were on about. There's a lot of people out there who model themselves, let's say, on come and ask me, come and do my course, do my fitness thing, this, that, and the other. And I'll get you ready for the army. I'll get you ready for the Marines. And I'm not saying there's a lot of shysters out there, but there's a few. There's a few. If somebody asked me about advice to join the military now, I wouldn't know what to tell them.
Mm.
I hear so many horror stories about people trying to join and it taking them 2 years
Yeah.
to fucking get across the line.
Yeah.
It took me, in my day, you went down to careers office, I want to join the army. Right. Go to Sutton
Yeah.
Coldfield, do your assessment, come back, you pass that, you're fucking in. Go on, off
Yeah.
you go.
No nutrition plan, no fucking
No.
whatever. But it
None
is good. It is good that there is a few good lads out there doing the PT and the nutrition and stuff like that. Because I guess now you can take the supplements. I'm guessing, like we weren't allowed like them grenade fucking things that come up on a CDT and stuff. So we never had nothing.
Did they?
Yeah, don't know why, but
Must be
yeah.
something. Okay.
But there's people now saying, "Oh, pay me for advice." And I was like, "Well, I'll do it free." The future generation of soldiers that are like basically putting their lives on the line, and you want to charge them for a bit of advice? Like, no, I'll give you it for free because my peers are still in. I would have still been in. I would have done the full 24, and I would have looked at commissioning. I loved it. That was my life. Do you know what I mean? I'd done everything to get us past some age. So I'd done all the courses, so I could have just over time just went up.
And it's the worst thing, it's just a shitty accident like that can just
Yeah,
not only change your life but end your career.
yeah,
And it's shit. Like sometimes life's shit. But I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't say that the good outcome of it is that you've
I got
found
I got
your
time to spend
allotments.
with my family. I got time to
Well,
spend with my
yeah,
family, like which was it still is rare. Like from 2017, I was in the house, and then they were gonna have to do an operation for the front, and they said there's gonna be it's highly likely that you won't have kids because we're gonna have to go in the front. So I'm right, fucking hell, I have to try now, and so then we had my son in 2019. So I was at home from 2019 until um all the way through, watched him grow up. Although I was in clip, but I was still there. I was present. I was seeing him grow, watching everything, like first steps to lot. Although a lot of people were during COVID, however, I probably wouldn't if I was still fit and healthy. But yeah, so that's a blessing. Got time with the kids and the family. But yeah, and then well, the present still doing me therapy, still doing me physio, still doing all the bits I need to do, just trying to keep my mind active. 3 years ago, I became the chair of the RBL, my local RBL branch. We've only got a few that come because I think everyone's had a fallout with the RBL, the stuff that's going on online. But I
yeah,
don't really look into it. I look at it as meeting up with other veterans and having a bit of crack because there's the old and bold there that are lonely. I like the well, I'm probably the youngest fucking chair they've ever had because it's normally the old
yeah.
school, innit? And I've been
So,
at 3 years.
no.
Yeah, yeah. I just torture them, and I love it. But yeah, I enjoy that. But like,
Well, you sound as though you're keeping yourself busy. You've got your allotment. I mean, how the fuck did you get an allotment? Most people are on a waiting list for years to go.
yeah, well,
And
people know us.
I've seen the photos and the videos of your allotment. It's not an allotment. It's your
It's
fucking
massive.
your place.
Yeah, it's massive. I love it. Like that is my escape in the summer. It's beautiful. Got the greenhouse with strawberries and uh, chickens. I love me chickens. Got a few ducks. I'm not allowed anything else on because of the council rules. Or I'd have goats. I'd have everything. Like literally, I fucking love it out there. And I make like me dad come down. My friends come down to make it all the gates are wide enough so it's wheelchair accessible for later on. So it's all prepped and ready to go if anything does happen. But I'm fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed, mate. It's not gonna.
Yeah, but that's pretty much me up to now. Just concentrating on keeping myself sane, putting all my effort into the kids. But yeah,
Well, Andy, thanks for coming on the podcast. We'll end it there because we can't go any further because that's up to your life up to
yeah,
now, really.
present.
Yeah, to the present. I would normally say, like, what's your plans for the future, but you've just mentioned them there anyway, really. And
Concentrate on health.
we wish you the best of luck with that as well. I've I didn't know your story until tonight. Most of the time when I do a podcast, I don't look people up. I don't want to know about them because I want to get the story as we're talking. And I feel fucking massively disappointed for you. All the way through you talking tonight, I've been just, he's a flyer. He's a flyer. And I've seen people like you in my career, and they end up fucking well up there.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame that didn't, that happened for you. And obviously, I don't want to dwell on that because that's your life, and you've already been through all that shit. And I don't want to drag it up, even though it just did. Even though it just did.
But I've had so many experiences that a lot of people wouldn't have, like the amount of countries I've been to.
Yeah.
Just the different people, different. Yeah, I'd encourage anyone to try, even if it was for the 4 years. Like,
I mean, the good thing is that you can hint at the bad end to the career. The way you would, like, let's say without saying too many ways, you were treated by the army, let's say. But you've got a very positive attitude towards the whole of your career. And like you said there, I would never have got to do this. I would never have seen it. And I'm the same. I remember the good times. I remember the fucking bad times as well. Don't get me wrong. But I remember the good times a lot better than I remember the shit times.
Yeah.
Again, I would never have gone to the Middle East. I would never have gone to Canada. I would never have gone down to the Falklands. That was on exercise. I'm not that old. And just stuff like that. I would never have seen these places. I'd have been stuck in Hartlepool.
Yeah.
Fucking probably never left the place.
Well, I could have been.
I'm thankful for that. Sorry?
I could have been a mechanic stuck in a garage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that little choice that we made as younger people changed our lives and made us different people than what we were.
Change your perspective on the world as well.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, recently my perspective's changing a lot. What the fuck's going on with the world? Anyway, we're not going to. Right, so I'd just like to say thank you for coming on the podcast, mate. I've really enjoyed it.
Thanks for the invite.
I hope it's not been too daunting for you doing it, because I know it was your first one.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
And I imagine you're going to get, I'll if you don't mind, I'll pass you on to a couple of other people in mind. Get you on, so it'll help promote your TikTok channel and that as well. So if anyone's not aware of Andy on TikTok, he's called the Allotment Veteran.
That's the one.
Look him up, add him, because he's hilarious. He really is. It is a good crack. Right, I'm going to end the recording now then, mate. Again, thanks for coming on. Really enjoyed that.
Thanks for listening.
I hope you enjoyed that podcast. I enjoyed recording it. If you could just hit the like button, and also if you could subscribe and hit the notification bell, that would be great, because it'll help the channel grow. The more people will see it, the bigger it'll get, and the more guests I can get on, and the more people I can talk to. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, like I said. Look forward to the next one. Hopefully we'll be out next week as normal. Bye-bye now.